Hello, my name is Denver Inigo Partido. This is my reaction review on the inauguration speech of President-elect Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. So in June 30, 2022, the former senator and congressman took his oath of office at the National Museum of Fine Arts before Supreme Court Chief Justice Alexander Desmond. As all inaugurations go, he began with a speech that spoke of promises and plans for the country and its future. Here are some of the key takeaways from his speech. On unity and electoral mandate. So he spoke in this part of his speech, he spoke of unity as evident to the result of the May 2022 election. He got the highest number of votes in the Philippine history. It, it is an implication of the support of the majority on his campaign and on unity, which calls for, he also calls in his speech for the people of the Republic of the Philippines to support or unify with him in taking responsibility and in doing the responsibility as a president. On his dream for the nation. So his dream for the nation was quoted a future of sufficiency, given plenty of readily available ways and means to get done what needs doing by me. We do not look back but ahead, up the road that we must take to a place better than the one we lost in the pandemic. Indeed, ours was the fastest growing economy in the ASEAN by ways now outdated. We shall be again by radical change in the way, and world must know work to recover what we lost in that fire and move on from there. That is his dream for our country, for our economy to boost and be back in track in the ASEAN um, performance of the economy. He also talks about his speech on the war in Ukraine and diplomacy. We face prospects of the war abroad, of which we are totally blameless. We seek friendship with all, but countries like ours will bear the burden of it. And if the great powers draws the wrong lessons from the ongoing tragedy in Ukraine, we see the dark prospect of conflict will spread to our part. So he has quoted, he seeks for friendship with all uh, countries in the world. He also talks about in his speech the coming together to solve the country's problems. As quoted, we are here to repair the house divided, to make it whole, and to stand strong again in the bayanihan way, expressive to our nature as Filipinos. We shall seek, not sworn dialogue, listen respectfully to contrary views, be open to suggestions, coming from hard thinking and unsparing judgment, not always from us Filipinos. Let us all be part the solutions that we choose, and that lies the will, the power to get it right. Always be open to differing views, but ever united in our chosen goal. Never hesitating the change it should prove one. So in his speech, he always calls for unity in solving the problem of our country. Next, he also emphasized on the food security. As he has quoted, the role of agriculture cries for urgent attention that its neglect and misdirection now demands. Food self-sufficiency is the key premise of every administration, none but one below. Food is not just a trade commodity. Without it, people weaken and die, societies come apart. It is more than a livelihood, it is an existential imperative and a moral one. And agriculture damage diminished by unfair competitions will have the harder time or will have no prospects at all of recovery. Food sufficiency must, must get the preferential treatment. As we all know, President-elect Marcos um, took office as the president and also um, took the Department of Agriculture as the office or as the department that he will uh, personally handle along with other among other departments. He chooses agriculture to handle the um, responsibility of the department, which implies that he really focuses or he is really uh, serious in doing the responsibility or in in fixing the Department of Agriculture for us to um, another part of his speech is on the country's educational system. As quoted, what we teach in our schools, the material used must be retaught. I am not talking about history. I am talking about the basics, the science, sharpening the theoretical aptitude and imparting vocational skills, such as the German example alongside the national language with equal emphasis and facility in the global language which we have and use. Once we had the educational system that prepared coming generations for more and better jobs, there is a hope for a family. Vice President and soon Secretary of Education Sara Duterte Carpio will take that mission. So as uh, President-elect Marcos took office as president and as the secretary of the Department of Education, he also chooses the vice president-elect secretary as the Secretary of Education, Sara Duterte Carpio, to focus on reshaping the education system of our country. On the country's public health and infrastructure, as quoted, we won't be caught unprepared, under-recruited, and understaffed to fight the next pandemic. Our nurses are best in the world. They acquitted themselves with the highest distinction of rank, having suffered even the highest casualties with the same exemplary dedication to. They just got by. They are out there because we cannot pay them for the same risk and workload that we have. There will there will be changes starting tomorrow. So he also talked about in his speech on the public health infrastructure, especially on the nurses and other health workers for our country. On countries of roads and public infrastructure. So he also talks about the transportation, which has been built and so well that the economic dogma of dispersing industry to develop the least likely places has been upheld. So in his speech, he emphasizes that he will continue the work of the previous president Duterte to continue on his build program, especially in the Department of Transportation. He also talks about the climate change. As quoted, the rich world talks a great deal, but does a lot less about it than those with much less, but who suffer more death and destruction from the climate change and lack of adaptation. We look to our partners and friends to help the Philippines, who despite having a small carbon footprint is at the highest risk. We too have our part to play. We are the third biggest plastic polluters in the world, but we won't shirk from that responsibility. We will do. So he talks about climate change and emphasizes the use of plastics in our country. He also talks about on his speech, just on the last part of his speech, his faith in the Filipino. As stated, you have other responsibilities to carry, but I will not spare myself from shedding the last breath of sweat or giving the last ounce of courage and sacrifice. And if you ask me why I am confident of the future, I will answer you simply that I have 110 million reasons to stop. Such is my faith in the Philippines. So Marcos Jr. spoke of healing divisions in the country, promised to grow the economy, recover the pandemic, and lead a more unified, prosperous country. So as quoted, he also said that I am here not to talk about the past. I am here to tell you about the future. A future of efficiency within plenty of readily available ways and means to get done what needs to be. He said, I will get. Thank you. That is my reaction on the inauguration speech of President-elect Bongbong Marcos.